Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a very special episode of Easy Buckets. How are you guys doing today? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. In today's video, I got something that I guarantee you guys are going to love, especially if you're a big Golden State Warriors fan. We're going to be talking about the Warriors 2022 roster, their new look roster, reviewing it, and talking about the best points and some bad points. If you're a big Warriors fan and want to know how next season is going to look, you're going to love this video. We're going to be talking about everything that comes to mind. Talking about Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and many, many more. So if you're a big Dub Nation fan and want to know more about the Warriors and what their 15-man squad looks like, you are absolutely going to love this video. Let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. The Golden State Warriors 2022 roster looks amazing. After just missing the NBA playoffs last year, we were very sad to see that Steph Curry would not be playing in the postseason. We all know he's a box office player, but when talking about next year, I do believe the Warriors are going to be more comfortable than last year. When talking about last year, the Warriors were one of the teams fighting for a playoff spot during the entire season, and a big part was because they did not have Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson missed the past 2 years due to injuries, but with the many good news we are getting, the Warriors are expected to be fully healthy. Going into this offseason, the Warriors did not have a lot of cap space. They couldn't really sign players in free agency, but with Bob Myers executing very well in the NBA draft and also convincing good role players to sign their veterans minimum contract in free agency, I do believe the Warriors are going to be a championship contender, and you guys cannot sleep on them. That's for sure. Of course, the first player on the Warriors roster is their captain, their leader, their franchise player, Steph Curry, a man that needs no introduction. Stephen Curry is a 2-time most valuable player, he's a 3-time NBA champion, and is known in the NBA as the best shooter. But not just the best shooter in the NBA, the best shooter ever to play this game. When talking about last season, Steph was phenomenal. He carried the Warriors almost to the 18th in the West and actually led the league in points per game. He averaged about 32 points per game and had shooting splits of 48% field goal, 42% at the three-point line, and shooting an amazing 92% at the free throw. Steph Curry is one of the most consistent, reliable knockdown scorers. With Steph Curry being the only splash baller playing last year, he did everything he could. And if you watch Warriors games, you know Steph Curry did not even give up, even though sometimes hope was against him. Over the past decade, the Warriors have been very dominant, but over the past 2 seasons, they haven't made the playoffs. But I do believe next year, after a very hot season from Steph, we're gonna see it again and see maybe an even better Steph. Steph Curry right now is a top 5 player in the NBA, there's no question about it. And if the Warriors want to win a championship, it all depends on how well Steph does. The next point guard on the Warriors is Jordan Poole, and I believe Jordan Poole is going to have an absolutely amazing 3rd year for the Dub Nation. When talking about last year, his sophomore year, he was an amazing 6-man for the Warriors. He averaged 12 points per game, shot 43% from the field goal, and also 88% from the free throw. Jordan Poole is showing signs that even though he's listed as a shooting guard, he's simply a point guard. He can play make and also create his own shot. If you watch the NBA play-in tournament, there were times when Jordan Poole would actually close out games. And with the Warriors needing somebody like a Sean Livingston, kind of a 6-man point guard to control the rock and also score at an efficient level, Jordan Poole, who is very young, has become that guy for the team. I can't wait to see what Jordan Poole shows us. I do believe he's going to be a 6-man of the year candidate. And the third point guard on this list is talking about rookie JaQuori McLaughlin, and he's a 23-year-old player that right now is a great development target for the Warriors. When talking about this year's NBA draft, JaQuori went undrafted, but after getting signed with the Warriors believe in his potential as he averaged about 60 points per game in college. Steph Curry and Jordan Poole will soak up most of the minutes, but JaQuori is a point guard to keep an eye on for the future. The next player on this list is talking about Klay Thompson, their shooting guard, their superstar, and their other splash brother that is expected to make a return this year. After not playing for the past 2 seasons, Klay is very focused on coming back. 2 years ago in the 2019 season, Klay averaged about 21.5 points per game, and I do believe this upcoming season, he's going to average the same amount, even though he could be a little rusty at the start of the season. Klay Thompson is known in the NBA as one of the best two-way players. He made a second all-defensive team a few years ago, but more importantly, he's known as one of the best three-point shooters in the league, and more importantly, potentially one of the best ever to be seen. When Steph and Klay are both healthy, I know they're going to be a top 3 seed in the Western Conference and be a championship contender. And I can't wait to see what Klay Thompson shows us after missing over 700 days of basketball. The next shooting guard on this list is talking about Justinian Jessup, a rookie the Warriors drafted last year but didn't end up playing with them. He went to Australia. When talking about last year's NBA draft, the Warriors gambled on Jessup. He was the 51 overall pick, and if you don't know who he is, just simply think of a Duncan Robinson, a player that can space the floor and score at a high efficient clip and go around screens. With the Warriors having a pass-first mindset, Jessup could simply be a great third option off the bench for the Warriors. And the last shooting guard is talking about Moody, the rookie the Warriors drafted with the 14th overall pick, and he is known to be a steal for the Warriors at number 14. Moody is a 6'6" shooting guard, an athletic one that can score. He averaged about 17 points in college and simply reminds me of a smaller OG Anunoby. Moses might not be getting a lot of minutes, but I do believe he's going to be a big part of the future. Think about a Jordan Poole in the making. The next player on the Warriors roster is Andrew Wiggins, their starting small forward, and Wiggins is going to be a big factor this year if they want a championship run. When talking about last year, Wiggins averaged about 18 points per game and has turned from a non-factor in the NBA to one of the best two-way players. I do believe playing for the Timberwolves, Andrew Wiggins was getting a lot of hate, but playing for the Warriors, where he doesn't have to be the number 1 option, people are seeing how great he could be as a third scoring option, and I believe what he brings to a table is a great asset. If you're a big Warriors fan and know their history, Andrew Wiggins is kind of like their Harrison Barnes, the year they went 73-9. Wiggins is going to be their starting small forward, and that's for sure. The next player on this list is talking about Otto Porter. I believe the Warriors getting him was a prime-time signing, especially for the veterans minimum. When talking about this offseason, Otto Porter was offered a lot of money from other teams, other championship contenders, but Otto knew that this year, with Klay coming back, the Warriors are going to be a true contender. With Otto Porter being known in the NBA as one of the better veteran 3-and-D players, if he's healthy, I do believe this veteran minimum deal is going to go a long way for the Warriors, as he can simply be a small forward, power forward, center backup. He's a 6'8" forward that is very versatile. His athletic ability, it's just a matter of him being healthy. The next player on this list is talking about Iguodala and him return to the Warriors. We all know in the Warriors championship runs a few years ago, Iguodala was a big part of their team. He was their sixth man, vocal leader, and more importantly, their locker room presence type of guy. With the Warriors still having a lot of the same roster as before when Iggy was on the team, I do believe the chemistry stays. With Steph, Klay, and Draymond, they know Iggy's role, and Iggy knows what he has to bring to the table. But with the Warriors also having a lot of young guns, I do believe Iggy's gonna simply step in to be a veteran leader. I don't see Iggy being a finals MVP caliber player anymore, but I do want him to be an off-the-bench presence, and that's why the Warriors signed him. I'm so happy he's returning. And the last small forward is talking about the Warriors' prize rookie, Jonathan Kuminga. The Warriors drafted him with the 7th overall pick this year, and that was a big move for the Dubs. If you don't know who Jonathan Kuminga is, let me say this. Simply imagine a Jonathan Isaac, an athletic wing that can score and be a monster in transition. He has crazy athleticism, he can jump very high, and with him only being 18 years old, his future is so bright. And if the Warriors can develop him alongside James Wiseman, they'll still have a future even if Steph and Klay leaves. In the G League last year, he averaged about 16 points per game and 7 rebounds, and an 18-year-old doing that amongst NBA vets? Oh boy, Kuminga's got a bright future. Now we're talking about Draymond Green, their starting power forward, and we all know what Draymond brings to the table. Draymond's one of the best defensive players in the NBA, but more importantly, he focuses on defense and also focuses on getting his other players involved, making the team better when it comes to his vocal leadership and also his NBA experience and his tough attitude. Draymond Green last year was Steph Curry's partner, and even though he didn't score, Draymond always does things that does not show on the box score, and I do believe him on the Warriors alongside Klay and Steph, no way they were trading Draymond, he's gotta be there, he's their floor general. The next power forward is talking about Nemanja Bjelica. I believe this was a great signing for the Golden State Warriors. Bjelica just left the Miami Heat, And with him being known as a great scorer at the forward and center position, he can space the floor and shoot a 3-ball efficiently. Bjelica went from the Sacramento Kings, where he didn't get enough minutes, to the Heat, where he barely got minutes, and now playing for the Warriors to kind of be a Jonas Jerebko and simply a big man off the bench. With the Warriors being known for 3-point shooting, Nemanja is just going to be another ammunition to the gun. The next player is talking about Juan Toscano Anderson, JTA, and he's a prime-time target for the Warriors to play the power forward position and also the small forward position. If you don't know what JTA brings to the table, I'm gonna say this: he brings an all-around factor. He can shoot, he can score, he can defend, and he can simply be a great role player. JTA is gonna get a lot of minutes at the small forward and power forward, and that's for sure. Steve Kerr loves him. Next up, we got the Warriors starting center, and that's James Wiseman. And hopefully, he'll be back soon after injuring his wrist. James Wiseman was a second overall pick in last year's NBA draft, and after having a decent rookie season, I want to see James Wiseman develop and simply be a DeAndre Ayton type of player. With the Phoenix Suns making DeAndre Ayton simply a defensive center and simply be a great alley-oop target. With the Warriors having a lot of playmakers like Steph and Draymond, having James Wiseman on those pick and rolls and backdoor cuts would be great for their finishing ability. James Wiseman has such a big future in this league, and with him also being able to spread the floor and shoot, the Warriors love him. And the last player on this list is Kevon Looney, the Warriors backup center, a Warriors, Stephen Curry, and Steve Kerr favorite. Kevon Looney opted into his player option this year. He wants to be on the Warriors, and he's simply a great example of a humble NBA player that simply knows his role and be a star in it. He's a great passer, a decent shooter, and more importantly, focuses a lot on defense. The Warriors love that, and that's why they're keeping him around. I do believe Kevon Looney is going to be in the Warriors even next year. So yes guys, this wraps up my video for today, talking about the Golden State Warriors and their roster, and doing a breakdown of every player. What's most important to me is I want to know your thoughts. Do you believe this squad is a championship squad, or do you believe they need to sign one more player or do a big time trade? Put your thoughts down in the comments below. But other than that, take it easy, God bless, and I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!